two people, same age, same income, same starting point. But 20 years from now, their lives will look nothing alike. This is Jake, 25 years old, living in Austin, Texas. Works a regular 9 to 5, makes about $52,000 a year. And this is Ryan, also 25, same city, same salary, same dreams. But one small decision is going to change everything. Jake opens his laptop one Tuesday morning and does something that most people his age keep putting off. He opens a brokerage account. He doesn't have all the answers. He doesn't have a perfect plan. He just starts with $200 a month. That's it. Ryan, meanwhile, tells himself he'll start investing once he pays off his credit card, once he gets a raise, once things settle down. The perfect time is always just around the corner. But for Ryan, that corner never seems to arrive. Fear, that's what's really stopping Ryan. Not the money, not the knowledge. Fear dressed up as logic. Jake feels that fear too, but he invests anyway. Because he understands something Ryan doesn't yet. Time is the most powerful force in investing. Not intelligence, not luck, time. Year 1. Jake invests $200 every single month. By December, he's put in $2,400. His portfolio? About $2,500. Ryan spends that same year meaning to start. He researches funds. He watches YouTube videos. He reads Reddit threads, but he never clicks buy. Year 2. Jake's portfolio crosses $5,000. It doesn't feel dramatic, but something quiet is happening beneath the surface. Compound interest has begun its slow, invisible work. Like a seed underground, you can't see it growing, but it is. Ryan gets a small raise at age 27. He celebrates with a weekend trip. He tells himself, now I'll start investing, but he doesn't. Year 3. Jake's portfolio, $8,000. He barely thinks about it. It runs automatically. Consistent, quiet, powerful. Automation is Jake's superpower. He never has to muster willpower. The money moves on its own every single month. Ryan has a medical bill scare at 28. This is exactly why I can't invest yet, he says, and he believes it. But Jake had an emergency fund, 3 months of expenses saved before he even started investing. That buffer, it's what let him keep going. Year 4. Jake's portfolio crosses $12,000. For the first time, the returns he's earning are bigger than what he's putting in. This is the moment every investor waits for, when your money starts working harder than you do. Ryan turns 29. A coworker mentions their 401k. Ryan feels a twinge of panic. How much do you have in yours? He asks. He doesn't like the answer. That panic fades by Friday. Ryan tells himself, I'll figure it out in my 30s. I have time. Year 5. Jake's portfolio, $19,000. He hasn't changed his lifestyle. He hasn't sacrificed vacations. He just started. 5 years in, Ryan has invested exactly $0. But he's read 11 personal finance books. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Jake turns 30. His portfolio is $28,000. He increases his monthly contribution to $300. Ryan turns 30 and has a moment of clarity. He opens a brokerage account. Finally, he deposits $200. But here's the brutal truth. Ryan is starting 5 years late. 5 years of compound growth that cannot be recovered. That 5-year gap isn't just a number. It represents over $80,000 in lost growth by age 45. We'll show you the math. Ryan is motivated now. He invests $300 a month. He's reading, learning, tracking. But motivation that started from panic is fragile. At 31, the stock market dips 15%. Jake doesn't flinch. He's been through this before in his mind. He keeps investing. Ryan panics. He pauses his contributions for 4 months. He'll restart when things feel safer. But the market recovers before he does. The investors who win are not the smartest. They're the ones who stayed in when everyone else ran out. Jake at 32, portfolio, $44,000. He's never earned more than $55,000 a year, but his money has multiplied. Ryan at 32, portfolio $8,000. He's contributed more months than he's missed, but the gap is widening, not closing. Jake buys a used car with cash, no loan, no interest. His financial habits have quietly built him a different kind of freedom. Ryan finances a car he probably shouldn't. Monthly payment, $420. That's $420 not going to his future. At 33, Jake starts researching real estate. His portfolio is strong enough to consider a down payment strategy. Ryan at 33 discovers lifestyle creep. More income, but somehow never enough left over to invest more. Lifestyle creep is the silent wealth killer. Every raise absorbed into a bigger life. The gap grows not from bad decisions, but from no decisions. Jake at 35, portfolio $67,000. He takes his first real vacation, not worrying about money for the first time in years. Ryan at 35, portfolio $18,000. He's not failing, but the math is becoming undeniable. The financial planner shows Ryan a chart. If he invests aggressively now $500 a month, he might close part of the gap. Might. Ryan increases to $500 a month. He's serious now. He's on a budget. He's making real sacrifices. But he's 10 years behind. Jake at 35 quietly passes the six-figure mark. His portfolio crosses $100,000. That's the threshold where compound interest goes from interesting to life-changing. Age 40. Jake's portfolio, $148,000. He has options now that most people his age don't have. Ryan at $39,000. He's proud of it, he should be, but he's running the numbers. The retirement math is getting uncomfortable. Jake begins thinking about what semi-retirement could look like at 50. Not quitting, just having the choice. Ryan realizes he'll need to work until 67 or 68 if everything goes well. The comfort of "I'll figure it out later" has a price tag. At 41, Jake takes a calculated risk. He starts a side business using his investment confidence as emotional fuel. He has a cushion. He can afford to try. Ryan at 41 is still laser-focused on debt. Medical costs, car, a credit card he thought he'd paid off twice by now. The difference isn't intelligence. Ryan is smart. It's the 15 years Jake spent building a foundation while Ryan was waiting for the perfect conditions. Jake's side business earns $20,000 in year one. He puts half into his portfolio. It now grows from multiple directions. At 43, Jake's portfolio crosses $200,000. $200,000 grown from $200 a month starting at 25. Ryan at 43, $62,000. He's not broken. He's building. But the math of time is undefeated. Here's the critical number. If both men stop contributing at 45 and let their money sit, Jake's money will likely double in roughly 10 years. Ryan's will too, but from a much smaller base. At 44, Jake pays cash for a rental property. His portfolio funds the down payment. He now has a second income stream, passive. Ryan at 44 works overtime every chance he gets. Not because he wants to, because the math requires it. Jake and his wife discuss the possibility of Jake stepping back from full-time work at 50. The portfolio will support it. Ryan and his partner have a hard conversation about the future. They want the same things, but the timeline keeps moving back. At 45, the scoreboard is undeniable. Jake's portfolio, $268,000. Ryan's, $81,000. That's a gap of $187,000. From a gap that started with $200 a month and a 10-year head start. Jake's rental property earns $1,400 a month. His portfolio is untouched. He has 3 income streams. He is not wealthy by Hollywood standards, but he is free. Ryan is working harder than ever. Smarter, too. His future is not ruined, but it required sacrifices Jake never had to make. 2 lives. Same city. Same salary. One difference the day they started. So why didn't Ryan start at 25? It wasn't stupidity. It was something far more human. Perfectionism. Perfectionism says, wait until you know more. Wait until you're ready. Wait until the market is right. Perfectionism is procrastination in a suit. Fear is the second barrier. What if I lose it? What if I pick wrong? Fear of loss is psychologically twice as powerful as the joy of gain. The truth, doing nothing is a decision. Every month you wait, you've chosen the worst possible investment. 0. Procrastination is the third barrier. The brain always prefers the familiar present over an uncertain future. It's wired for survival, not wealth. Jake wasn't fearless. He was afraid and invested anyway. That's not bravery. It's just financial maturity. Identity is the fourth barrier. Ryan didn't see himself as an investor. Investors were wealthy people, not someone his age with his salary. But investing isn't about identity. It's about behavior. $200 a month at 25 is not a rich person's move. It's a wise person's move. The most expensive thing in Ryan's life wasn't his rent or his car. It was the 10 years he spent convincing himself it wasn't the right time. Time cannot be bought back. No bonus, no raise, no hustle will recover the compound growth of your 20s once that decade is gone. But here's what I need you to. Understand, Ryan's story is not over. And more importantly, you are not Ryan yet. Unless you're watching this at 35, then we need to talk faster. If you're 23, 25, or 28, you have a gift that no amount of money can buy. You have time. Use it today. If you're 30 or 35, you are not too late. But every month you wait is another month of Ryan's story you're writing for yourself. Here's your one action for today. Not a plan, not a research session. One action. Open a brokerage account. Fidelity. Have them do it today. Set up a $100 automatic monthly investment into a total market index fund. You can change it later. You can increase it. Just start. That $100 a month starting today could be worth over $170,000 by the time you're 65. If you start at 25, you don't need to be perfect. Jake wasn't perfect. He just started imperfectly and let time do the heavy lifting. The people who retire comfortably are not smarter than you. They are not luckier. They just started earlier and stayed consistent. 20 years from now, you will be somewhere on this spectrum between Jake and Ryan. Where you land depends entirely on what you do after this video ends. So close this video. Open that account. Set that automatic investment. Your future self is watching and they're counting on the decision you make right now.